I remember being very afraid. I tried to run away at one point. It was very, very hard to go through. I'm still not completely over it. My name is Rebecca, and I had an LVAD implanted when I was just 16 years old, and this is my story.
Baking cookies is just another Christmas tradition at the Norman household. But unlike most teenagers, Rebecca Norman was diagnosed with aortic valve stenosis prior to birth, and that has meant countless tests and procedures, including 3 major heart surgeries.
It's attached to 2 batteries.
The latest operation gave Rebecca a portable device that helps her heart.
The artificial heart is in the 2 sides of my heart, so it goes into the aorta and the left ventricle. And there's kind of like a rotor, so it spins the blood, so it helps the left side of my heart work, so it doesn't have to work as hard. So then that lowers the pressures in my lungs, which means I wouldn't have to get a heart and lung transplant. I would only really need to get the heart transplant. I remember being very afraid to get this procedure done. It's hard to be in Edmonton with nobody that you really know except for my parents. I tried to run away at one point. I hid from the doctors. I locked myself in one of the bathrooms and there was tile ceiling, so I attempted to get up there. It was a little bit silly, but at the time it just felt like I needed to get out of there. And that was like the only option, so I didn't make it. A lot has happened since then. So I've had multiple occasions to go to Edmonton for different reasons. Mostly it's just checkups and stuff, but sometimes it's a bit more serious. I had my artificial heart replaced a couple of years ago, so that was quite a big deal. The artificial heart is supposed to help me be able to do more activities, live a normal life basically, but I find that I also have scoliosis and that affects with the pain and not being able to walk as far. Also, the bag that has my artificial heart in it is heavy, so that makes the back pain a little bit worse. So I have bad days and good days. Like some days I can do a bit more and I have to take less medication for pain and stuff, but some days it's a lot worse and I can barely get out of bed. So it kind of depends on the day. Mostly stay home and relax with my animals. And watch Netflix, I read a lot. And I am really into Sudoku books. I've gone through quite a few in the last year. So we got a greenhouse this year and my dad built a couple of raised beds so it would be easier so I wouldn't have to bend over and hurt my back a bit more. So I have quite a few tomato plants and cucumbers and all different kinds, and then I also grew some pumpkins, which were really exciting because then I had my own pumpkin to carve this fall, so I was really excited about that. I love to be out and really get dirty right in the dirt and grow something. It's a good feeling. I wanted to go to medical school, but of course that's quite a big deal and a lot of work, and you'd have to have long days, and I can't really handle that at this point in my life. So I've been working part-time as a pharmacy assistant. Being in the medical profession, kind of, with pharmacy, it's at least a step in the right direction. Sometimes I have to fill the prescriptions myself and I'm out front and I deal with some customers, but most of the time I'm doing blister packs for the patients. It's good because I get to go in the back room and I get to sit down, which is a lot easier for me to handle. I love the people that I work with. They're so supportive and they're totally okay with me having to sit down if I need to, having to take a break whenever I need to. And even if I'm like last minute can't come into work, they're fine. I do really enjoy what I'm doing right now, so it's good. A young person with what you would think is so much life to kind of lead, and then you have to get this big surgery and it's so different and it's an adjustment. So I would say just take it one day at a time, and it gets easier. I didn't think it would, and when you're stuck in it, it really doesn't seem like it's gonna get better, but it does.